Walter.
Yeah, you have a toe. What's his name backwards? Okay. B-O-B. Pretty good.
My understanding was that the bell is ringing.
I'm sorry, what? So that means when you were born, I was 16. And this person, plus this person, plus this person all combined. How's that? I'm 78. Oh, I'm 74. You're what, 34? Oh my God. You mean 39. Okay, you guys
You're looking at a different person's age.
Are we recording all this? Yeah. Oh, I was over 80 for those people. Actually, that's diversity. The resistance is first grade. Which means the whole and this person,
Welcome. Good morning. Anybody guess what today's program's about?
76.
Cool. Okay, our opening music is used with permission from the UU music director, Paul Thompson. It's The Oneness of Everything with the words and music by Jim Scott.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding, the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees, who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past the touch our own are written in the earth ever giving, and now to maintain the harmony, 'Gives to us all lives within. stand and reduced to terms defined. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
Welcome. Welcome, you questioners, seekers of truth with a capital T, pilgrims longing for sanctuary, travelers needing harbor from the storm. Welcome those who are holding on by a thread. That's me. Determined breakers of the chain of loneliness and isolation. You push through your fear because something told you that you deserve to belong. Welcome home. Welcome those who braid ropes again and again. You've been there for our siblings who were just hanging on. You gave them a hand into community and told them that they could rest here. Welcome, you who seek spiritual and religious community for your children and grandchildren. You entrust your young people here, and we as a community commit to nurture and respect them. Welcome, children and youth. You give us the gift of your wisdom, your joy, your curiosity, and your trust that we will hold all of you safe. Welcome. Welcome home. How do we make this tender place wider? How do we stretch into a bolder welcome, a radical generosity of the heart? Can we imagine ourselves as stewards and ushers, not only into this space, but into our circle of belonging? Can we commit and recommit to being accountable to one another as an anti-racist, anti-oppressive community that centers marginalized voices, that listens to those voices, especially when what they are saying is hard to hear? Can we be willing to change? When we break our agreements with one another, can we offer amends? Can we be humble and generous? There is grace enough here. There is in this place the possibility of healing, of repair, of making things right within ourselves, between us, and with the wider world. There is in this place possibility. Welcome home. This is by Rachel Rott, R-O-T-T. And today's chalice lighting is by Bobbi Schaeffer. Will be accompanied by a short video uploaded to YouTube by J. by Caprica.
In the beginning, there was light, infinite and expansive, flowing out from an unseen center. Throughout creation, there is light from the steady sun, the glowing moon, the flashing meteor, the twinkling stars, and the auroras dancing in the northern skies. Within each part of creation, there is light, slowed down and held close by every cell and molecule, by each atom and element. Within you, there is light, the same light as the source, the same radiance that is in all creatures. May this small flame be a constant reminder to you of your true nature and your kinship with all beings.
Today's story for all ages will be presented in the form of a video. According to the Native American people known as the Hopi, at the beginning of time, Spider Woman controlled the underworld, the home of the gods, while the sun god, Tawa, ruled the sky. This video describes how they defined the heaven, earth, and all the creatures on it. This video was produced by Data 1B4 for YouTube, and there are no restrictions to its use.
The Hopi creation story. In the beginning there were only two, Tawa, the sun god, and Spider Woman, the earth goddess. All the mysteries and power in the above belonged to Tawa, while Spider Woman controlled the magic of the below. There was neither man nor woman, bird nor beast, no living thing until these two willed it to be. And then it came about that these two had one thought, and they would make the earth to be between the above and the below, where now lay shimmering only the endless waters. So they sat side by side, swaying their beautiful bronze bodies to the pulsing music of their own great voices, making the first magic song. I am Tawa, sang the sun god. I am light. I am life. I am father of all that shall ever come. I am Spider Woman, the earth goddess crooned. I receive light and nourish life. I am mother of all that shall ever come. Now let us make ones like unto you and me, so that they may rule over and enjoy the lesser creatures, sang Tawa. And Spider Woman shaped their thoughts into women and men. Now that was a good thing, and a mighty thing, said Tawa. So now all this is finished, and there shall be no new things made by us. And now I shall go to turn my blazing shield upon the endless waters, so that the dry land may appear. And this day will be the first day upon earth. After Spider Woman had bent her wise, all-seeing eyes upon the thronging creatures about her, she walked among them, separating them into 5 groups. Spider Woman called all the people to follow her. Through all the 4 great caverns of the underworld, she led them until they finally came to an opening, which led above. Then Spider Woman chose a creature to lead each clan to a place to build their house. The puma, the snake, the antelope, the deer, and other horned creatures. Each led a clan to a place to build their house. Each clan henceforth bore the name of the creature who had led them. The Spider Woman spoke to them thus: The woman of the clan shall build the house, and the family name shall descend through her. She shall be house builder and homemaker. She shall mold the jars for the storing of food and water. She shall grind the grain for food, and tenderly rear and teach the young. The man of the clan shall build kivas under the ground. In these kivas the man shall make altars. The man, too, shall weave the clan blankets with the proper symbols. The man shall make himself weapons and furnish his family with food. The Spider Woman said, Look upon me now, my children. Obey the words I have given you, and all will be well. If you are in need of help, call upon me. The people gazed, wide-eyed, upon her shining beauty. She held up her right hand and smiled upon them, then stepped upon the whirling sand. Wonder of wonders! Before their eyes, the sands seemed to suck her swiftly down until she disappeared entirely from sight.
Now we'll sing the children out. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May your spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. That was cool. Okay, so now we're going to do announcements. And the first announcement is a shameless self-promotion. Okay? There it is. Tonight at White Concert Hall, I will be part of the Shawnee Choral Society's production of Broadway Melodies. And it's free. There'll be a free will offering, and if you can make it, it's going to be lots of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. Some of the music's very uplifting, and a little of it is a little depressing. You ever see Les Mis? Anyway, there's a reason it's called Miserable. Okay, so that's it for me. The rest of the announcements. Brewcraft meets every Thursday at 6 p.m. in the UUFT library, at least until we can find a new coffee shop with sufficient lighting, quiet, beer, and food. Just to give you an idea what Brewcraft is, it's a bunch of people who get together to enjoy each other's company, a little food, a little drink, and you bring along a craft if you have one. I don't particularly have one, so I just go and talk, something I'm not too bad at. Okay, the program committee, the committee that puts together these programs, is meeting here at noon. If you are interested in continuing the programs, since we at this point in time do not have an in-resident minister, and you'd like to help us put these programs together, please show up at noon to put in your 2 cents and perhaps join the committee and help us put on these programs. The Social Justice Committee, of which I am also a member, is meeting here today at 3 o'clock. We will be discussing the ballot for August 2nd, which I don't know if anybody noticed, but we changed the Wayside Pulpit, which now says vote no on August 2nd. And we are in the process of figuring out how to do yard signs, and once we do that, we'll be asking you to put a yard sign in your yard and combat some of the other forces that are out there. Monday at 6 p.m. is Peaceful Heart Sangha, led by Chuck Fonz. If you have questions, Chuck is right here today. Welcome, Chuck. Tuesdays, the Racial Justice Book Club meets via Zoom. The current reading is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And if you want more information, please check your email for This Week at UUFT email, which you get every week without fail. Thank you. Any other announcements?
Yes.
Please.
This announcement is from the Interim Minister Search Committee. We had no mutual matches. And what that means is there will not be a minister from this round. They had previously said there would not be a second round. However, this past week, a couple of days ago, they announced that there would be a second round, and tomorrow we will find out if anyone is interested in looking at our congregation. We'll keep you posted as this proceeds. Thanks.
Vicki?
I'm not too sure if this is the time to make the announcement, but today's contribution collection will be going to the Poor People's Campaign, so be generous.
Thank you. Any other announcements? On to joys and concerns. On May 14th, 2022, a mass shooting occurred in Buffalo, New York, at a Tops Friendly Market store. Sorry. This shit's got to stop. In the Kingsley neighborhood on the eastern side of the city, 10 people were killed, 3 others were injured, 11 of the victims were black. Our hearts go out to the black residents of Buffalo, especially to the Kingsley community. We share your horror and pain. Second one, we mourn the fall of the Ukraine city of Mariupol to Russian forces. On the upside, there's got to be an upside, folks. Birthdays, Vern Bryan on May 24th and Laurel Vogt on May 26th. Any other joys and concerns? Okay. Well, then we will green the basket for the Poor People's Campaign. And we are doing a video with permission from the Church of the Larger Fellowship.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
So today's talk is on the 7th principle. And since we did the 8th first, this is the last in the series. I know you're all going to be sad about that. Okay. So here's Bobbi. It's coming up. You have yours?
Here. The 7th principle, what it means and how it can or should impact our lives. We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote respect for the independent web of all existence of which we are a part. So, what is this 7th principle? It is certainly a poetic metaphor, powerful and lyrical beyond any other language used to express our faith. It has inspired artists and craftspeople, liturgical dancers and scientists. But ultimately, the 7th principle is more than poetry or metaphor or physics or ecology. Like all our principles in this deeds, not creeds, faith of ours, it is an ethical imperative. It demands that we ask ourselves, given what we know about connectedness, how are we to be in this world? These are the words of Reverend Roberta Finkelstein in her sermon, Our 7th Principle. When we look at the 7 principles wheel, we see at the center the first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Then we have the petals or slices arranged around and connected to the first principle that further expand on what we as UUs affirm and promote. Finally, there is the 7th principle that wraps around or surrounds the first 6 principles. All of the principles have importance as we begin in the center with inherent worth and dignity and are wrapped in the respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. A very neatly packaged group of core values to live by. In RE, kids learn the 7 UU principles as our agreement for how we will treat one another in the community. They are described as a rainbow of values. The first letter of each simplified principle stands for the first letter of the corresponding color of the 7 colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The 7th principle, violet, reads, value our responsibility in the web of life. Can't get much simpler than that. The Foothills UU put together a program of reflections of members who were reflecting on the meaning of the 7th principle. Lori Seiler said, I have always felt connected to the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, and I continue to learn more about how I can respect it. This is both an integral part of my spirituality and being a responsible steward of the planet. We share this planet with all life forms. Connectedness in this way allows me to transmute fear, disappointment, and stress into love, joy, peace, and hope. It also motivates me to do what I can to care for our planet and everyone on it, now and into the future. Like Lori, for Foothills member Peg McMorris, the interdependent web embodies the idea of living in harmony with the earth. Living in good consciousness means limiting our carbon footprints and trying to live as sustainably as possible. She notes, I am inspired and sustained by time spent experiencing the natural environment in large and small ways. A member of 30 years, Brian Woodruff, was around in the 80s when the Foothills minister, Reverend Roy Jones, was instrumental in formulating the 7 principles. He explains, consensus on the 7th principle was difficult, and Roy's language, respect for the interdependent web, won. He sees the 7th principle paying out for some in changed behavior, such as the reduction of energy and raw materials in our homes. For others, it isn't enough. I'm interested in taking action on the 7th principle in more ways than greening our buildings. Considering that climate change is the most significant threat to planetary health, what might we aspire to do together with the support of a principled church community? Natalie Shrewsbury, also a member, notes, when you see the world through the lens of the 7th principle, decisions become more complex because you have to consider all factors in every situation. For example, if you are thinking about how to be a good land steward in your own backyard, maybe you want to have a garden or some chickens. You need to consider things like the history of the location, the movement of the sun, how people and animals use the space, and how the land might be used in the future, as well as how your actions might affect your neighbors and the larger community. The idea is to create a space that works for every living being in it, plants, animals, and people. Which brings me to another point of view that echoes Natalie's reflection. When we consider our 7th principle, maybe we should look at it through another lens for clarity, perspective, and a longer view. In many American Indian tribes, and based on an ancient Iroquois philosophy, is the 7th generation principle. This principle reads, in our every deliberation, we must consider the impact of our decisions on the next 7 generations. The Constitution of the Iroquois Nation, the great binding law, explains seventh generation philosophy as follows. The thickness of your skin shall be 7 spans, which is to say that you shall be proof against anger, offensive actions, and criticism. Your heart shall be filled with peace and goodwill, and your mind filled with a yearning for the welfare of the people of the Confederacy. With endless patience you shall carry out your duty, and your firmness shall be tempered with tenderness for your people. Neither anger nor fury shall find lodgment in your mind, and all your words and actions shall be marked with calm deliberation. In all your deliberations in Confederate Council, in your efforts at lawmaking, in all your official acts, self-interest shall be cast into oblivion. Cast not over your shoulder behind you the warnings of nephews and nieces, should they chide you for any error or wrong that you may do, but return to the way of the great law, which is just and right. Look and listen for the welfare of the whole people, and have always in view not only the present, but also the coming generations, even those whose faces are yet beneath the surface of the ground, the unborn of the future nation. So, simply stated, the seventh generation principle is just that any time someone makes a decision, they should think about its impact 7 generations into the future. And they should make that decision mindfully and with care and responsibility for the health and welfare of the 7th generations into the future. Whenever you are harvesting plants and animals, but particularly plants, you should leave behind 7 plants for every plant that you pick to make sure that the plants have enough capacity for regeneration 7 generations into their future. We cannot just think about the 7 generations into the future of humans, but of all life on earth and its 7 generations into the future. We must recognize that we need balance for all on earth to survive and thrive. Sounds like the UU's 7th principle, does it not? When you look at the world through the lens of the 7th principle or the 7 generation principle, decisions become more complex because you have to consider more factors in every decision you make and achieve balance in the outcome. The interdependent web embodies the idea of living in harmony with the earth. This means limiting our carbon footprint and living as sustainably as possible. It means treating all humans on the planet with respect. It means treating all other living things with respect, as well as treating the planet itself with equal respect. Respecting the interdependent web of all existence is another way of saying that we see an inherent worth and dignity, not only in all people, but in all beings and things. Where do we go from here? At Fellowship, we have worked to make our building as green as possible. I am sure that many members and friends have worked on that goal as well. At Fellowship, we conscientiously compost and use that compost in our raised bed garden. Our peace garden nurtures plants that are good for bees, butterflies, and birds, as I am sure is the practice of some of our members. Some of us are trading out grass for clover. We drive fuel-efficient and low-emission vehicles or hybrid or all-electric ones. The change from fossil fuels has been slow, mostly for economic reasons. We walk and bike. Many have changed their diet to plant-based or at least reduced their intake of red meat. This is a process that needs to take time. Imagine if we all became vegan overnight. The supply chain is set up for a certain number of chickens, pigs, and beef cattle to be consumed on a predetermined schedule. What would happen if overnight we all went to plant-based or even vegan diets? Economic chaos. I do think that we would probably be healthier and require less medical attention and intervention. What other changes would be better for the planet but have to be scaled up or down from where they are, or we would be facing unintended consequences? Even if long-term the effects would be overwhelmingly positive, And then there are those who strongly feel that they have the right to make certain decisions for themselves, regardless of the consequences which may impact others as well as themselves. How do we worldwide get on the same page at the same time to address global issues? How do we get governments on board to effect change? This principle is often referred to in connection with environmental topics such as care for and health of the earth, plants, and animals, and dealing with pollution. It is also referenced in environmental justice, social justice, and racial justice themes. In the words of Reverend Forrest Gilmore, Executive Director of Shalom Community Center, Bloomington, Indiana, our seventh principle, respect for the independent web of all existence, is a glorious statement. Yet we make a profound mistake when we limit it to merely an environmental idea. It is so much more. It is our response to the great dangers of both individualism and oppression. It is our solution to the seeming conflict between individual and group. Our seventh principle may be our Unitarian Universalist way of coming to fully embrace something greater than ourselves. The interdependent web expresses the spirit of life, the ground of all being, the oneness of all existence, the community, forming power, the process of life, the creative force, even God, can help us develop that social understanding of ourselves that we and our culture so desperately need. It is a source of meaning to which we can dedicate our lives. This is how we broaden and expand our understanding of the seventh principle from being just the environmental principle. This is how we use the seventh principle as a foundation to address such horrors as the war in Ukraine, a prime example of the danger of individualism and oppression. This is the lens through which as a community we can affirm this principle and come together to oppose acts such as the recent one David spoke of in the Kingsley neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. As a congregation, we need to reestablish ourselves as environmentally aware, a socially aware, and a united, wider community-aware organization, and pursue working with all like-minded groups to effect change. We as UU celebrate the independent web of all existence of which we are a part. And as a people of faith, we also do all that we can do to protect and preserve the integrity of that web. Spider-Woman is still weaving. In gratitude, we continue to give homage to this earth, our home, and the precious gift of an interconnected life. Our faith is in our interconnectedness with one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobbi. Well done. Okay, so now it's your turn. Any thoughts on the seventh principle or anything that Bobbi brought up? Now is the time to share it with the group. And speaking of interconnectedness, well, it's not showing the lines. I hate when that happens. There's lines connecting all these people. So, really? You can change that? But at any rate, your turn.
Well, our daughter Beth came back from Scotland, and we got to see her for just a few days. While she was in Scotland on sabbatical, she spent a week at Iona Abbey with one of her favorite authors, theologians, John Philip Newell. And she turned me on to a book that I'm listening to now. It's called Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul. And it mirrors perfectly. And Bobbi, I want a copy of everything. If I can have a copy of your sermon, I'd love it. But his point is that we need to return to this concept of the sacredness of the earth and the sacredness within. And it's not based on any theology or any creeds, because he says this is the wisdom that we all carry within us. And that's true in any religion. If you really go back to the roots, it's this wisdom we already have. It's a wonderful book. It's based a lot on he's rooted in Celtic Christianity, which goes clear back to really more the Druid beginnings and the early Christianity before Christianity became the religion of the empire and the government takes over. And you can see now what's happening with religion in America, what it's being used by politicians to hurt other people. It's called Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul. It's by John Philip Newell. And he's written also a book called The Heartbeat of the Earth. His writings are really good.
Vicki?
Ooh.
Anyone else? Janine?
Oops, yeah. Janine Silsby. Somebody short must have done this. What was I going to say? See, it's my memory, and what I want to ask is if anybody else remembers more of the specifics of this, but there was a energy survey thing that was done, 15 years ago or so, by Stuart Yoho. I wanted to mention his name as someone that really was invested in doing that and then making some plans for how to improve that, our energy usage and to make it a greener space. So if anybody remembers what some of those things were that came out of that, I would appreciate it.
Lou, come on down. Take your time. We got plenty of time. You don't have a meeting until noon.
Yes, I have an actual copy of that. Yeah. I know that Joe has been trying to get those things done gradually. Some of them were technically kind of difficult, but if anybody wants to volunteer, I'm sure he'd be happy to have that.
Help, yeah. Anyone else? Friends of the Earth. There you go. Raymond.
My name is Raymond Powers, and Chris Hamilton, who's also a member of the fellowship. We are a member of the local Sierra Club, and the Sierra Club can be a little bureaucratic, and we were having frustrations with the state organization, so we've kind of created a local environmental group, and I'm hoping that we can fuse with the environmental people who are here in the fellowship and come together. We're meeting here every third Thursday.
Third Thursday.
Hopefully through the rest of the year, although we may take off a couple months during the summer. And we're in the process of trying to work on not only programming, but also activities that we could be involved in. So any of you are interested, get a hold of Chris or me. Thanks.
And that's Friends of the Environment is their new name. Okay. Thank you, Raymond. Anyone else? Okay. From the Tao Te Ching. The brightest path seems dark. The way leading forward seems backwards. The smoothest path seems rough. The highest virtue, low. The whitest white, pitch black. The greatest virtue, wanting. The staunchest virtue, timid. The perfect square, without corners. The perfect tool, without uses. The perfect sound, hushed. The perfect image, without form. See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things. Today's closing music is Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in our hymnals. Please feel free to sing along, since we can now do that. The video was created by Paul Thompson at the UU Church of the Palouse in Moscow, Idaho. They should change their name. We have permission to use the video. Go in peace until we meet again. We're gonna need this. Yeah. We might as well leave the screen on.
Okay. You're gonna put the program stuff on it?
Maybe. Sorry, I'm not gonna sing this. Doing the Mozart requiem on screen.